Yeah,
Yeah, fine.
great.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm also good. First of all, thank you very much for your time. Your
Not a problem.
yeah. So okay, so we will start with some questions and then we will go in the graphic designing part. So first of all, I want to know how you started and what's your journey and your quick introduction along with that. So
Yeah, so basically, my name is Nikhil Pawar. I have been doing graphic design and motion graphics for past more than 8 years now.
okay.
So basically, I was actually doing my business in management studies,
Mhm.
and I was in my second year. So that is when I came across a video of my friend who made a video doing a simple visual effects. And I was really amazed to see how this kind of animation can be created by a single individual, because my mindset was this kind of visual effects was only created
Mhm.
by studios and Marvel and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I was really amazed seeing him, so I went to his house and he showed me how all this is created using After Effects and stuff. So after that, I got the software from him and I started to play around with the software and started to learn how this works. So that is
Mhm.
basically how I got started with designing animation.
Yeah. And you say you are working from past eight years. Do you running any agency or you are still a freelancer or something?
No, I have been working as a freelance. I do applied for a job, but I didn't quite like it. So I started freelancing back in, I guess, 2015, I guess,
Yeah.
when I started freelancing. But I also have a small team of my friends who are basically freelancers. But when there is a big project that we are working on, then we come together as a team and,
Mhm.
work on a individual project. And the rest of the time, we work as individual freelancers on our personal projects, basically.
Okay. So currently you are running two YouTube channels. One is Dope Motion and another one is Nikhil Pawar. So
Yeah.
uh, how you actually started the Nikhil Pawar channel, that is in Hindi, I think. Yeah, right. I'm right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
So you are creating videos related to After Effects and Premiere Pro in Hindi as well. So how you started that?
The basic idea was there are a lot of Hindi channels,
Mhm.
but the type of content that I wanted to make was I wanted to basically not only just make tutorials where I show how to create a particular thing, but I actually wanted to share some ideas using which people can create their own design.
Mhm.
And most of the Hindi channel related to graphic design and animation that I saw were teaching very basic stuff on how to use the softwares, and everyone is teaching that. So I wanted
Yeah.
to share something different so that people not only like people now know how to use the software, but how
Mhm.
to create designs. So my main goal is to show them how you can create different designs using simple and easy techniques. Because in the real world, when you try to do freelancing projects, no one is going to ask you, do you know this particular software? What
Yeah.
matters is, can you create the output that we want? So that is the important part. So that is how I thought about why not I create different content, but in Hindi for the Hindi audience. So that is basically how I started with the Hindi channel.
Okay. So I want to know that how you get your all clients. All those clients are inbound, or you pitch them to sell your services or product.
Yeah, this is the most asked question basically.
Yeah.
Usually, all my clients come through my YouTube channel and my website, because
Okay.
a lot of people ask me like, how do we actually approach our client? And the answer is that even I don't know how to pitch a project, because I'm basically a designer. I don't handle that PR and stuff. So I don't really have idea how I can approach client basically. But in a simple way, if I put it, like if you have a good portfolio, you can just reach out to small scale businesses, and you can tell them about you, that I offer this kind of services, and in future if you require any of them, you can just contact me. So basically, it's called cold pitching, where you pitch
Yeah.
small businesses and small startups, where tell them about your services, and in future if they need any, they will contact you basically.
Okay. So let's jump into the graphic designing part, where lots of people wants to know how to start the graphic designing and what's a system requirement of for the graphic design. So my first question is how a beginner can start their journey in the graphic designing, because lots of beginners don't know what's the right path to start that.
Yeah, so basically, there is no specific one way I will say to start designing, because there are so many different things that you can do with design. There are it's like endless. There are so many different kind of things that you can learn. You can learn typography, you can learn color theory, you can learn how to do some basic logo designing and stuff. So at the start, I will say try out every different thing that you want, and once you know that you like some particular kind of design. For example, let's say if you start with logo designing, you start with hand lettering, and then you can see like yes, I'm enjoying logo design. So you can stick to logo designing and then move along that path and start learning how to do basic logos, how to come up with concepts. So in short, basically you need to learn every small thing like color theory, typography, hierarchy. So everything is important. So basically start learning everything together, and then throughout the journey you can find your own interest in what topic interests you the most.
Yeah, actually most of the time people ask about is it necessary to do any kind of course for the graphic designing, or they will just learn through the YouTube and Google.
Yeah, it's like you don't need to do any kind of course. I have done a 3 years diploma from a university for design animation, but it's absolutely useless. I have wasted 3 to 5 lakh rupees in this, because most of the things that I learned from is YouTube and some
Okay.
self practice. So it's not at all necessary. People think that, especially in India, people think that it's very important to have a certificate of
Yeah.
degree, but it's not at all necessary, because I have been doing projects for clients like Cooler Master, Envato, Adobe, and none of them ever asked me for my certificate, and I have not yet got my certificate because I never approached for the certificate.
Yeah.
So yeah, certificate is not gonna matter. People are gonna basically see your portfolio, and basically your design and animations are gonna talk for yourself and show your capabilities. So that's what I think is important.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, experience matters more than the degree and the certificate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question is, what is the basic requirement for the graphic designing? Like, you have to know the typography, colors theory, as you told me. So, what's the basic requirement? If I want to start from just right now, do I have to know something from my previous work, or I just start learning it?
Yes, you can basically start learning from like understanding how colors work, how contrast work. Basically, understanding colors is very important, because I see most of the time people design very good things, but the color combinations are very bullshit, and
Yeah.
because of that, the design doesn't look good. So I think the most important part is learning about how colors work and how to use colors accurately into design. For example, let's say if I'm creating a poster for food, something, let's say McDonald's. And if I use colors like green, yellow, green, blue, something that relates to nature and all, it's not going to work, because if you see, most of the food posters and food banners are made with colors like red and yellow, because
Yeah.
those indicate food, and those develop that sense of fast food joint
Fast.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is very important. I think color theory, learning about colors is very important. And then you can start by learning basics of software like Photoshop and Illustrator, which are standard softwares for doing graphic design.
Yeah, yeah, color theory, and I think the typography is also an important part of designing, because
Yeah.
most of the time I see carousels on Instagram. People just use a good typography with white background and black typo. They look awesome. So I think typography is one
Yes.
of the most important
Yes,
part
it's
of the.
absolutely one of the most important thing is typography, because even if you're not using images and colorful things, but if you use simple, good text, good fonts in your design, it's gonna look very professional, very minimal, and yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I see you are posting carousels on the Instagram. So, do you want to tell something about the carousels? How we can make a better carousel for the Instagram to grow our account fastly? Because you have already 92 point something followers, 92 point k something followers on Instagram. So,
Yeah.
what's the correct method of creating carousels?
Even I started by creating, it's basically like your carousels have to provide value.
Yeah,
If it's not providing any kind of value, any kind of information, it's not gonna attract people. But if it's providing some kind of knowledge or some kind of even a little value, people are gonna save that carousel. Then it's the best way I think to create one.
yeah.
Sometimes you can also share up the process about your freelance projects or designing and stuff, that can be also helpful. But I think at the end, the main important part in carousels is providing value and something helpful that people can learn from.
Yeah. So I want to know that how actually you are engaging on the Instagram, because if someone wants to grow on the Instagram, either they are from the graphic designing field or from any other niche, if they want to grow, they have to do some things on the Instagram to grow. So are you doing that kind of engagement, or you just put your content and then rest of all are
No,
pushed by Instagram?
sometimes I like to create posts. Like if you go on my Instagram, I have created posts on some clients from health series, which people
Yeah.
enjoyed a lot. And it was that I was converting the client responses and client feedback into this funny conversation, so people can relate to it. So if the content is more relatable, people are gonna get engaged because if they see something like that, yes, even I have went through something similar, and they are gonna relate to it
Yeah.
more. So that is very important to increase the engagement, I think.
Okay. So I want to know the one more question, that what is the future of graphic design? Because in this pandemic, lots of companies or business are jump into the digital marketing field. They want their online presence on a Google or any social media platform. So what's the basically future of a graphic designing and role of actually graphic designing in their brands and in their company?
Yes, you're right, because every small business is shifting to online marketing and
Yeah.
online stuff. So I think the demand for graphic designing is going to increase with time. Also, the demand for UI UX designing is increasing with graphic design. So a lot of graphic designers are shifting to UI UX design, because every small company is creating their own application, creating their
Yeah.
own website. So I think graphic design is slowly moving into UI UX more, and it's a very good field. It's really like people are charging very high prices for this because the demand is so high,
Yeah.
and it is a very huge field basically. So I think graphic designing is a very good field to get into right now, because as I said, a lot of people are getting into design and animation, and a lot of companies have demands for graphic design. And the best part is that you don't even have to do a job. You can start freelancing. That's the best part. You can work from home,
Yeah.
because everyone is working from
Yeah.
home
Yeah.
now. So I think, yeah, it's going to be there for a very long time.
Okay. So I want to know that what's the tools and the software you are using for your clients and for your own projects and for your own contents?
So basically, when I got into this field, I used to learn like maybe 20 to 30 softwares. But
Okay.
as I started freelancing, I realized that you don't need to learn all those softwares. You just need to learn the softwares that helps you to get the job done. So right now, I use Photoshop and Illustrator for my designing stuff. I
Mhm.
use After Effects and Premiere Pro for After Effects for animating, and Premiere Pro for editing. And I use Cinema 4D for my 3D renders or 3D animation. So basically, those are the like 5 softwares that I use. But when I started learning every different software like Maya, 3ds Max. But you don't need to learn all those softwares. Basically, whichever software that you feel comfortable with. For example, if you don't want to learn Photoshop, you can learn the alternate, that is Affinity Designer, which is
Mhm.
also I think free. So you can start with that. A lot of people are creating designs using Canva as well.
Yeah.
So that is also a great option. If you don't have a computer, you can design from your mobile phone. So yeah, it depends. You can try out every different software, and whichever software that you feel more comfortable in, then you can stick to that.
Yeah, actually, at this time, people are comparing Photoshop and Canva very much. So, what's your thought about that? If someone using Canva, they are also in the designing field, or they just use drag and drop options, just like in the web development field, WordPress is a CMS, and sometimes people say use custom code. So,
Yeah.
what's your thought on this in the Canva and the
Yeah,
Photoshop?
yeah, I have seen a lot of people like bullying people who design in Canva, but
Yeah.
I personally think it's fine to use any software unless and until you are creating something useful. You're conveying your message through your design. So unless and until you are doing your message is getting conveyed through your designs, it's absolutely fine. Doesn't matter what software you use. But yeah, some people do use Canva for some basic design stuff, and yeah, but at the end, I think it's fine if you are creating some meaningful things using whichever software that you want. I think it's absolutely fine.
Yeah, actually, and one more thing, what do you think? This Canva can kill Photoshop, or Actually,
No,
at this time, Canva is evolving at a very high level, adding too much features in that.
yeah, right. But I don't think, because Photoshop is a very, very huge software. Because
Yeah.
I have been using Photoshop for more than 8 years now, but still I came across many new things because Adobe is also upgrading their
Yeah.
Photoshop softwares every year. So I don't think Canva is gonna. It's gonna be difficult for Canva to catch up with Photoshop, because a lot of industries are using Photoshop as their standard design software, and I
Hmm.
don't think Canva can replace that. So yeah.
Okay, okay. So one more question: is it necessary to have a huge following on Instagram to take clients? Actually, you say that you take all your clients from your websites and from your YouTube channel. So is it necessary to gain a huge following, or people can just start from small followings like 500 followers or 1,000 followers on their Instagram and start getting clients?
Absolutely, people can start with 500 followers, because I started posting regularly on Instagram from, I guess, last year September,
Hmm.
or maybe August sometime. But before that, I used to only post my client projects and whatever personal projects that I used to create, and I had around 2,000 something followers. And at that time, I used to get projects from Instagram because I maybe client found my designs and animation useful.
Hmm.
So it doesn't matter how many followers you have. If you have good content, client, what matters to them is how good your content is. Doesn't matter how many followers you have. So if you are looking to get more clients from Instagram, then followers is not really gonna matter. Your content is gonna be very important.
Yeah, yeah. I actually, you say, actually, I see lots of people are getting clients just from their 500 followers and
Yeah.
their 1,000 followers. So my next question is, what's the earning method in the graphic designing? As lots of people are now creating courses on the games courses actually are coming, and the music courses. So what's the basic
Yeah.
methods of earning from the graphic designing?
Uh, there are actually various methods, because you can do number of different things. You can sell your products, you can create
Hmm.
courses. So that is also a very good way to earn a passive income from graphic design. So I myself sell products on marketplaces like Video Hive and Vato. So yes,
Yeah.
that could be a good passive income for graphic designers other than clients, because there, if when you're doing freelancing, it's not necessary that one month maybe you get 10 clients, the other month you may get only 2 clients. So in the rest time, you can focus on selling products online. You can start affiliate marketing and various different things that you can do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One more thing I want to ask: the affiliate marketing. Are you doing the affiliate marketing for the video hives and
Yeah,
others?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have been doing affiliate marketing for various different platforms like Skillshare, Domestika, who sell amazing courses. That Video Hive, who sell, they have some amazing templates for designers. So yeah, if you check out my YouTube videos, I
Yeah,
definitely affiliate market there.
yeah. Actually, and one more thing: have you ever created your courses, or you are planning to create your own courses?
Yes, I am planning to create my own courses. I have a very small logo animation course on Skillshare.
Okay.
So I got very good response on that course. After that, I started planning for more courses, but then I'm in the middle of shifting to a new house. So I want to set up my studio and everything, and then
Mhm.
properly prepare a dedicated course. I'm just waiting for that.
Okay, that's a great, and I am really excited to watch all that courses you want to get. I want to know how much you are earning right now from just that apart from the YouTube and Google.
So basically, I have created like 4 or 5 different streams of income, because a YouTube AdSense is not going to pay much, because AdSense revenue in India is very low, I think.
Yeah.
So mostly I make money through my sponsorships on YouTube and my products on Envato Market. So easily you can earn a six-figure income without, doing freelancing projects, because freelancing projects are, it's going to pay really well by doing freelancing projects, but
Mhm.
you need to also invest a lot of time. And if you're doing big freelancing projects, then you definitely need to have a small team, maybe 2 to 3 people. So at the moment, as I said, I'm in between shifting to a new house. I'm really busy with things. So right
Mhm.
now, I have not been much freelance. I'm focusing more on YouTube and on my digital products right now.
Okay, are you on any freelancing websites like Upwork or a freelancer.com?
No, actually, a lot of people ask me this, but I have never tried this website because I don't think I don't know. I maybe tried Fiverr for some time, but I didn't really quite enjoyed it. So I never tried any freelancing website yet.
Okay, okay. So I want to know the last question is 5 tips according to you to all graphic designers so that they can increase their efficiency in graphic designing and all.
So the first tip will be start from the basic, because I see a lot of people jump into the advanced stuff. They want to create some advanced design, but they forget about the basic things which are very important, and those are gonna help you to create those professional design. So start from basic, learn the fundamentals and principles of design, which are very important. Then you can also watch movies related to design. Like I personally like to watch animated movies a lot because those give me a lot of different ideas to use color combinations, or you to use it in your design. So also this question people ask me a lot is how we can get creative. So I say that to think creative, you need to first watch something that is creative. Unless and until you can't watch anything, don't watch anything, you're not gonna able to think anything creative.
Yeah.
So that is also very important to watch animated or superhero movies. Like they have some cool visual effects.
Yeah.
That gives a lot of different ideas to come up with unique designs. And lastly, I think the second thing is you don't need to stress a lot on creating design. Like don't rush the process. Take your time and just slowly create design. Whatever you want to create, don't rush, because whenever you try to rush into something, it's not going to be good. And I have experienced that. So just take your time, take breaks, and you don't need to sit like 10 to 12 hours straight up a complete day to create something unique. So basically just take rest, chill out, and you don't need to worry about much things.
Yeah, that's great. Actually, I'm a web developer, so I sit for almost 12 hours for design coding a website. So that's almost similar to the graphic designing, where people sit and create one single design in 5 hours, and sometimes they took more than that 5 hours. So it's a very I think. And what's your thought on it's funny parts about the graphic designing?
The funny part, I think, is people who are selling logos for $5 and $10 on Fiverr.
Yeah.
Because of that, people think that graphic designing is very easy, very cheap, and a lot of people get into it. But after, when they see the competition, they see when they start getting good clients, it becomes really difficult for them to cope up with them.
Yeah.
So that is very funny that people are selling. I have also seen like post on Facebook where people are selling logos for 300 rupees, 200 rupees, and it's really crazy.
Yeah. Actually, most of the time people think they just create a logo and then they are a graphic designer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen lots of time people saying that I have one logo designing clients, and I think designing one single logo for a company, that means they become our clients or not, because as a digital Pratik say, if you are just handling a social media, then that person is not your client. So if you are managing everything for that company, then that will become your client.
Right. Creating just a logo for a client is not going to make him your permanent client. You need to create mostly every single thing. And secondly, he has to be satisfied with your work. So it's very important, again, to take feedback and, understand where you're doing wrong things and where you're doing right things, so that you can improve in that particular section. So I basically keep in mind that whenever I'm working with any client, after the project is complete, I like to take honest feedback so that I can know where I went wrong, where I can improve in the future, so that I don't face the same issue with the future client. So yeah.
Okay, so one last question actually, I want to ask you, do you want to suggest some as you told, a movie is so any movie or any book which are good for the graphic designer?
Yes, lately, last week, I saw this movie called Luca from Disney. And it's absolutely mind-blowing movie. I think everyone should watch it. They have some very good, the complete theme of this movie is super awesome. The second movie, I think, is Coco, which is maybe it came around 2 years ago or maybe 1 year ago. It's also a great movie from Disney. So you can check those movies out. And I personally like to watch all the Marvel series and Marvel movies. Those inspire me a lot and help me to think something creative for creating unique content. So
yeah, so thank you very much for answering all this. One last question I want to ask you, that what about you the portfolio? If someone wants to create their portfolio, the platform you are using for the portfolio, or if I want to create my portfolio, I go with the PowerPoint presentation, or I have to use any platform for portfolio?
Basically, you can easily create a very simple website and showcase your work on that website instead of posting it on Instagram. You can post it on Instagram, obviously, but for if you think about professionalism, then it's a professional way to have your own website, and then you can repurpose that content on Behance, Dribble, Instagram. That is the second thing. But having a simple website is going to be very important to generate good clients and showcase your portfolio.
Okay, okay. So thank you very much for answering all the question, and I really enjoy, and it's really valuable for me and all my audience. So thank you very much for answering that, and I hope we can do one live session on Instagram as well, so that
Sure.
we get directly in touch with our audience as well.
Sure. It was great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, bye. Take care.
Bye bye. Take care.